There are just branches and trees everywhere, power lines down, and trees uprooted just like this one. You can just see the damage done to the backside of these townhomes. When fire crews got here around 11 last night, all they could see was just the building engulfed in flames. Here at the Mail Processing Center in Greensboro, thousands upon thousands of mail is currently being sorted. This property off of Highway 158 in Davie County is where Davie County Animal Services says they received several complaints about the conditions of the horses here.
I tell you, I know some of them are actually evacuating.
Right, so the Mountaintop Youth Camp has been evacuated. Here at Camp Haynes, though, they have not evacuated just yet, but you can see the smoke is coming down that mountain, and the executive director here said it was farther away, you know, last night and over the weekend, and it has moved down quite a bit. But, you know, they are monitoring that and working with the Forestry Service. Winston-Salem police say 7 reports have been filed since September from people who have reported items stolen from their units at this storage facility. And Bailey does something most wouldn't even dare to do: dive off a 10-meter platform, which is 33 feet down. Well, according to police, the 20-year-old driver was driving up Rockford Street here when he hit William Harris, who was crossing the street from the Speedway gas station to get back home. Now, Harris's family said that this is a well-lit area and a lot of people walk here. They said this never should have happened to him. Well, the sheriff's office says the 13-year-old girl was found in an outbuilding on this property. The man who lives here, Jorge Camacho, is charged with her kidnapping. There is damage to the outside of the building. Owner Lisa Blakely said the inside is a total loss. When she got the call Sunday, she said it's one that she never wanted or thought she would get. Terry Snyder tells us the trailer was stolen here off of Old Lexington Road in Winston-Salem, right next to his other trailer that shows what his organization is all about. And he says the way it was stolen, he believes, was planned out. There is so much to do. They have live music, they have lots of food trucks, they have a Ferris wheel that I was on earlier, and they even have a NASCAR driving simulator, which I've been trying to get the hang of here. Well, these are just some of the horses that were seized from Southern Star Farm, and as you can see, a lot of the horses have their ribs and hip bones showing. And that was Sergeant Greg Ingram with the Caswell County Sheriff's Office giving us an update. And as he said, the suspect was detained and is on his way to the county jail right now. Every single day on the first day of school, my mom would make us pose in front of something, and she's like, oh, I'm just gonna keep them and not show them, and now we're showing them on TV. So we have been hearing from Darius all morning, who was inside the Strickland Center when they got that alert from Forsyth Tech. Darius, can you just, you know, retell us what was going through your mind when you got that tech alert? Richie said they're now trying to figure out if it's going to explode or just leak out, so they have drones in the air monitoring and have crews going in and out monitoring the product. Jackie?
Maria, I want to get back to something you said towards the top. Residents within 1,000 feet are being evacuated, really anyone in that area. Is there any indication that will be expanded?
Well, Jackie, officials said everybody within a half-mile radius of the plant is being told to shelter in place, and that includes the Dillard Academy School, but officials said they are ready to evacuate more of a distance if needed. You can just see the damage done to the backside of these townhomes. When fire crews got here around 11 last night, all they could see was just the building engulfed in flames.
We do have heavy smoke and flames visible from the Charlie side. We're going to be in the aggressive attack mode, offensive attack mode.
This is video of Winston-Salem fire crews first arriving on scene around 11 Monday night. They say it took about 15 minutes to get the flames under control.
Someone started yelling fire after they rapidly rang my doorbell.
Firefighters said after getting the fire under control, they found 76-year-old Paul Rutledge dead inside his unit. That unit has the most extensive damage out of the 5 total there. 3 people are now displaced, including Andrew Kiger, who just moved in at the start of this year.
Luckily, I was still halfway awake and caught my attention very quickly, because I don't know what would have happened if not. It's just unreal. It was a nightmare.
Now he and the others affected are meeting with adjusters and insurance agents, trying to figure out the next steps.
So it's a lot of damage. I hate it for the people that have to go through this. Usually when ServPro comes in, it's never a pleasant thing to deal with mitigation companies. I always tell people when we're done, we hope that you don't have to see us again.
ServPro officials said the people that live in this building will probably be displaced anywhere from 6 months to a year, and the Winston-Salem Fire Department is still investigating a cause at this time. In Winston-Salem, Maria DeBone, WXII 12 News. 18-year-old Bailey Cranford spends most of her time up there, getting ready to flip, twist, and turn in the air before hitting the water.
At meets, I kind of just have a song in my head and I don't really think about, that dive that I'm doing. Kind of helps me relax.
And it's definitely worked in her favor. Bailey is late to join the sport compared to other divers, only starting to dive at 14 years old. But in that short time, she's already won gold at Junior Nationals, gold at the Junior World Championships, and qualified for next year's Olympic trials.
She progressed very quickly. At Nationals last summer, nobody knew who she was. So she kind of came in under the radar and she just annihilated everybody.
And Bailey does something most wouldn't even dare to do, dive off a 10-meter platform, which is 33 feet down.
Bailey has one of the highest degrees of difficulty out of any female athlete in this country.
At this year's Junior Nationals competition, she'll be competing a reverse 3.5 dive, hoping to defend her national title before heading to NC State in the fall to compete on their team.
Feels really good. I definitely didn't expect that. If you would have asked me freshman year, you're gonna dive in college, I would have told you you're crazy.
And although her coach, Shannon Hoffman, said she's sad she won't be her coach anymore, she said she can't wait to cheer her on throughout her college career and at the Olympic trials.
We don't just coach them in diving, we coach them in life, and hopefully we can instill some life lessons in them as far as hard work and work ethic and being a coachable athlete.
In Greensboro, Maria DeBone, WXII 12 News. Well, these are just some of the horses that were seized from Southern Star Farm. And as you can see, a lot of the horses have their ribs and hip bones showing and even their spine showing as well.
So you can see all his individual vertebrae pop up, and then his hip bones should not be protruding like that.
Mary McCashin has cared for horses for a long time.
So she's got sores on this side from where she laid down, and so they were sores. And then all this should be fat.
So when Davie County Deputy Sheriff James DeWitt with Davie County Animal Services called and asked for help seizing malnourished horses from a farm, she jumped into action.
For us, there was a huge relief in knowing that these animals went from being terrified and scared to they're safe and they're fed and they're allowed to just be horses right now.
Deputy DeWitt said they've been investigating complaints about the condition of horses at Southern Star Farm for a long time. Since the news of the arrests and seizure came out, several people have come forward saying their horses looked improperly cared for when they were boarded there.
The care of the horses were going downhill. The feeding of the horses were going downhill. We would go and the water buckets were bone dry, and they have to have water 24/7.
When I went the last time to see my horse, she had green drainage coming out of her nose. She was running a fever, and she was literally a skeleton. So I made the decision with my mother to go look at other barns. We moved her within a week, and she has made a full recovery.
And Deputy DeWitt is asking for any information related to these cases. So if you have any information, you're asked to call him. You're also asked to call him if you would like to give a donation to help these horses. In Davie County, Maria DeBone, WXII 12 News.